Hello there, this is Ty the Movie Guy, and I am back with another video. I'm keeping up my weekly streak. So far, so good. I don't know how long that's going to last, but yay me. And today's video is not going to review or anything. This is my first ever top 10 video. And today we are counting down the top 10 worst movie titles. And I came up with this idea and I just spitballed a couple of my top 10 ideas in my face reveal video. And my buddy old pal, Lego Mission X, said I should start with this one, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So if this video turns out, you can thank Mission X for that. And if it doesn't, you can unthank Mission X. What's the opposite of thank? You can get pissed at Mission X for that. So basically, the three main reasons why I hate these certain movie titles is number one, it feels like one off from the franchise it's in. It's kind of like the ugly duckling, basically. Just it sticks out from the rest of the franchise. Number two is it doesn't really explain the movie well enough. Like, it doesn't just fit the movie that it's the title for, basically. And then number three, the worst one, is it's way too long, and those are the couple at the end, basically, that I just hate so much. The title is way too long. So let's just get into it and start with I was going to do 5. Number 10. I can count. Before I say number 10, I just want to clarify, some of these movies I don't like, but I don't dislike all of them. It's not about the plot of the movie or whatsoever. It's about just the title, because number 10 is Batman Begins. And before you hate me, I love this movie, okay? I love this movie. I love Christopher Nolan. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. But this title I don't like. Notice how I said Dark Knight trilogy. And this one pisses me off because it's called Batman Begins in the Dark Knight trilogy. And it just doesn't fit the other two movies in the trilogy. Like, the best way to resolve that is it just should have been The Dark Knight Begins. Like, I think that sounds better. I don't know. You tell me if that sounds better, but I think that's a better title. And I just don't like this one because there's like so many Batman movies with like another word. That there's like Batman Forever, Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, and then there's Batman Begins, and they just all kind of get jumbled together, and I forget which one's which. So Batman Begins, the title always pissed me off. As much as I love the movie, I don't like the title. And it Begins makes sense because it's his origin story, but it just should have been The Dark Knight Begins or something like that, just to fit amongst the rest of the trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. So it's coming in at number 10. I didn't want to put it any lower because I love the movie, and I think it doesn't deserve that much hate because, Begins makes a lot of sense. It doesn't fit with the rest of the trilogy. Number 9 is going to be I messed it up. I was going to say what it should be. It's The Lost World Jurassic Park. And what really pisses me off about this one is why is The Lost World first? Like, just swap it around. Just say The Jurassic Park The Lost World. It's that simple. Why did it have to be The Lost World Jurassic Park? You always say like the franchise's name and then like the sequel, basically. I don't know why they switched it. It pisses me off. And the movie's not that good either, but just the title really pisses me off. I think even as a kid, I always thought it was the other way around, because that's what it should be. Why did they have to say The Lost World Jurassic Park? It's stupid. Why? Next up is Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie about Queen and Freddie Mercury and all that. And this is also a great movie, but just why is it called Bohemian Rhapsody? Like, I get that's their best song and my favorite of Queen, but why Bohemian Rhapsody? Like, why just one specific song in a movie about the artist who makes several songs? Like, it could have easily been Freddie Mercury or Queen. Just why do one specific song? It makes sense out of all the other songs because it's their big song, but like just do Queen, just do Freddie Mercury. I chose this one specifically because it's like the first one I remember that pissed me off, but it's a long going trend with like musician biopics. Like, there's Walk the Line, why not just call it Johnny Cash or Cash? And then there's I Want to Dance with Somebody, which just came out like last year. Call It Like Whitney Houston. I'm pretty sure that's the musician. I'd look really stupid if it wasn't. And then there's also Rocket Man. Just Call It Like Elton John or something like that. I don't know why they like to pick the name of a song when it's about several songs and the musician themselves. Like, it doesn't make too much sense. Like the best one out of all these musician biopics is Weird, the Al Yankovic story, because it has the person's name and it makes sense. Like, I'd maybe cut out Weird, but like just the Al Yankovic story makes sense because that's the name of the person. So it just pisses me off that they're doing one song out of a ton of songs they could have picked, and it's about the musician and not just one song. So that's why it is I was going to say 7. I'm terrible at counting today. It is number 8. Coming in at number 7 is John Wick Parabellum. And this one simply is just like Batman Begins. I love this movie, but the title doesn't fit with the rest of the franchise. Why didn't they just call it Chapter 3? Why'd they have to add on Parabellum? What is a Parabellum? Let's look that up right now, honestly. I don't know what a Parabellum is. I think I looked... Parabellum... Oh, Prepare for War. Okay, that's kind of cool. Parabellum, Prepare for War. Kind of cool, actually, but it still doesn't fit. If they all had a word after like the chapter, that would have been cooler, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the franchise. They could have just done, John Wick, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. Like, why'd they have to make that one specifically? Why'd they have to add an extra thing? It doesn't make sense. Number 6 is Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And I don't want to get into, do I consider Rey a Skywalker? Or I guess I have to talk about the title, but I think it's just weird in the movie in general that she chose to be a Skywalker. I guess she should have just been a Palpatine. Just because her grandpa's bad doesn't mean she has to be bad. She should have just stuck with Palpatine. But it's stupid that they call it The Rise of Skywalker when the only living Skywalker isn't even a Skywalker. So they easily could have fixed it by calling it The Rise of Palpatine, which would have been a lot cooler, because going into the movie, you'd think it was the villain Palpatine, where the title came from. And then as you watch the movie, you realize Rey's a Palpatine. And then you're like, oh, the title has a double meaning, which would have been a lot cooler than The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I don't want to get into the movie. It wasn't that good of a movie, and I don't consider Rey a Skywalker. Not because I don't like her, just it's weird to take someone's last name. So that's why it is number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Fast and Furious. Not Fast and Furious 1. This is like number 4. So why did they basically call it the same as number 1, but instead take away the and change and the word into and the symbol? I get it when they horror movies, they do that a lot, where they do a remake decades later. They did Halloween in 2018 and they just called it Halloween. They did Scream and called it Scream. They did The Thing and called it The Thing. They did Friday the 13th, and they didn't add a new title. They just did it the same as the original. And that's fine when it's decades later and it's a reboot and whatever. But why did they call the movie the same as the original when it's in the same franchise and only I don't know, maybe 10, probably less than 10 years later, and they call it the same title, just take away a word and turn a word into a symbol? That doesn't really make sense. They don't even add Fast and Furious 4. They just call it Fast and Furious. Are they trying to make people forget that they just keep on adding to this franchise? Or it doesn't make sense. Why not just add a number? Why not add something interesting to it? I don't like it. It's stupid. The movie was good. The title is stupid. Number 4 goes to 65, the movie that came out this year, which is kind of a trend with certain movies where they just do a number. They did 43, I think was the number for the Chadwick Boseman baseball story. I like that number more because it's just the number of the player. But this one I just don't like, because 65 doesn't explain the movie at all. Like 65 what? Like I feel like a math teacher. Like 65 what? Apples, oranges? Like 65 what? Like it's stupid. Like, and then like I think they first advertised it as 65 million years later, which also sucks because it's long. And then I don't know if that was the original title and then they cut it down to be shorter, and now it doesn't make sense. Like, it's a lose-lose. Like, the one doesn't make sense. The other one is too long. They just could have done like anything dinosaur related, anything space related that would have been better than this. And also, side note, this movie was pretty disappointing. It looked really cool, but it's also really disappointing. Number 3 goes to Nope, the movie that came out last year. And this is one of those movies that the title doesn't explain the movie at all. Like imagine explaining this movie to someone who's never heard of it or whatever, and just say, "Hey, have you heard of the movie Nope?" Would you think of a horror movie about a UFO like abducting people and killing people and like abducting horses? No, I don't know what you would think of, but it doesn't fit this movie at all. Like twice in the movie, the characters will look at the UFO and then they'll go nope, and then it gets a couple laughs and that's it. Like, it's a stupid title. And I know I like Jordan Peele and lots of horror movies, they like to have like 1 word or 2 word titles just to be very simple, and it fits the horror genre. But this one just it sucks. Like, nope, you're gonna describe a horror UFO movie with a single word? Nope. It's dumb, and it makes me like just like the movie less because of this title. Number 2 goes to Big George Foreman. And this is a movie I haven't seen yet, and I heard about it when I was watching Air with my parents. I saw the trailer for it. It's about like a priest who becomes a boxer, and that's a pretty cool movie idea, especially when it actually happened. And then when the end of the trailer came along, I got to read the title, and then I'm like, holy crap, this title is so long. Like, why can't you just do Big George Foreman? Okay, let me read the real title. I can't even memorize it, how long it is. So the real title is Big George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world. That is a ridiculously long title. Like, I think they did that because they were worried just the Big George Foreman probably wouldn't attract people because you don't know who Big George Foreman is. So they want to like put a bit of the description of the movie in the title, but they could have just done Big George Foreman, heavyweight champion of the world, like something. But just this is way too long. And I'll watch this movie at home and whatever, and hopefully I'll like it. But just this title, man, it is so long. Like, I don't think I'll be able to memorize it. It's just ridiculously long. And number 1 goes to the one that inspired this whole list, Birds of Prey. Why don't I just stop there? Birds of Prey. That's a good title. It's the name of the team from the DC Comics. It fits. It fits. But wait, there's more. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. What? Why do you have to mention Harley Quinn? Or just say Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn? For some reason, I guess they just really want to promote Harley Quinn because, people don't know the other Birds of Prey. So it's like, Birds of Prey. And look, Harley Quinn. But then they're like, oh no, but Harley Quinn's this quirky character, so let's make it super long and say, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. What? That's so freaking long. Just do Birds of Prey, or if you really want to promote Harley Quinn, say Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn. It's that simple. Why do you have to add like so much more? This is ridiculously long, and I hate it. And I hate it so much that I also don't really like the movie that much. I don't really think it was a good movie to start with, but I like it even less because of this title. This title sucks. It's too long and I hate it. And I don't think I'll ever watch it. Or, nah, that's a little harsh. I'll watch this movie probably like years and years in the future, but I don't feel the need to go watch this movie again because I wasn't a big fan and the title just makes it even worse. Ewan McGregor was cool because he's Obi-Wan, but just the title, man, it pisses me off so much. I think I remember like reading about it like in 2020 and whatever. I'm like, oh, Birds of Prey. I think I've heard about them. That sounds kind of cool. And then I read the rest and I'm like, what? Let me get my reading glasses to read all of this. Like, god damn, that's ridiculously long. And that's why it's the number one. And it sucks. So, yeah, there you have it. That's the top 10. I hope you enjoyed. I felt really negative making this video, probably because it's top 10 worst. So, it's kind of supposed to be. Tell me your opinions. Tell me what titles you agree with and what titles you think are good. I want to clarify once again, John Wick 3 and Batman Begins are great movies, and I love them, but I hate their titles. So make it known, I love those movies, but I hate those titles. Okay, don't get mad at me. Tell me your opinions in the comments, and farewell.